Blue Star Coffee Roasters is located in Twisp, Washington. They are a wholesale provider of world-class hand-roasted coffee to the Methow Valley and beyond. Voted one of the top 3 micro roasters in North America by Roast Magazine in 2017, and winner of America's Best Espresso at Seattle Coffee Fest in 2012. They bring over 25 years of award-winning coffee experience to the region. The packaging is high quality and attractive. Today, we are trying the Celebration blend. It is characterized as bold and elegant with hints of citrus and spice, creamy body, and a sweet, clean finish. A blend of rare and special coffees crafted to complement the rich foods and good times of the holiday season. Hi, I'm Joseph, and this is A Cup with Joe. This is Dakota.
Hi, everybody.
And as you can see, we are trying Blue Star Celebration Coffee and out of Washington as we continue our trip through Washington and trying some of the roasters through Washington, some of the more popular ones. And Washington has many roasters in that state, and I'm sure we'll circle back around to try more. But these are the ones that are catching our eyes right now. So back to Blue Star Roasters and the Celebration blend. So to me, we using the French press, you get a lot of the fine the fine notes of this coffee, and to me, it's like a light medium blend because it's a blend of many coffees, and you get that spice that really hits other fruits. What's your take?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has the spice, like they say, and then I do get a lot of the citrus It definitely has a citrusy tone to it. It definitely is, like Joe was saying, it's definitely that medium, light medium roast. But I would definitely recommend it. It's pretty tasty for a cup of Joe.
So how do you think this fits into being a celebration blend? Do you think this meets the title of going from like Christmas into the New Year? Do you think this is what you would expect in a celebration blend?
Yeah, definitely. It's not really. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a Christmas blend, but it definitely is like a new one, right? So you go through the Christmas season, you have those nice warm spices. I would say this one's kind of more of opening up. It's not so much of the warm fuzzy feeling. It's more of like a little bit more cold, I guess you could say, but it definitely is more of like a celebration, like celebration blend.
Speaking of cold, and I'm sure most of you throughout the country are about to get a blanket of cold, and I think we're supposed to get between 5 and 18 inches here in Utah on the valley benches. I think this is the perfect coffee to have for the next couple of days to just really stay indoors and look out the window and watch it snow, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely get that cup of Joe, enjoy the celebration blend, and it definitely is going to make it so you don't feel as cold during these winter weeks that we're going to have lately.
So yeah, so if you've never tried Blue Star Coffee Roasters coffee, the Celebration Blend, I was looking on the website. They're going through the last call of it all. So if you're seeing this, get it right away. They have many other varieties on there that I want to try. And like I said, I'm sure we'll circle back around probably towards the end of next year, or excuse me, end of this year, and have some kind of... So we're going to talk about the Invoke Festival, and I hope I'm saying that right. So Dakota, what would you think about 30 Days of Darkness?
30 Days of Darkness, good Lord. I mean, there's no way that I don't think I could do it. I'm not a huge fan of the dark per se. So being in darkness for 30 days, that'd be rough. What about you, Joe? How would you handle 30 days of just darkness?
So actually, I think I would do a lot better in the darkness because I'm more of a night owl. And I used to work graveyard, and I used to love going to work at night and coming home at night. So I think I'd do really well in darkness. Now, I don't know 30 days if I would make it or whatnot, because I think your internal clock would be thrown off a little bit, expecting that wake up time, if you will. And I don't know, but in Alaska, Canada, and up in the Arctic there, they deal with this every year, and I thought this was pretty interesting. And what was the flip side of that?
I mean, on the flip side of that, you get 52 days of just straight daylight, which I also, Joe, I don't know about you, but I'm with you on the night owl thing.
Right.
But I for sure could not. I don't think I could do either one. Like, definitely living up north is not going to happen for me. It's just 52 days of sunlight, right. 30 days of darkness. Not doing it. Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
So I was talking to my wife, and I was like, "No, what would you think about this?" And she goes, "Oh, I just put blackout drapes in my room." And I'm like, "Yeah, but still in the back of your mind, whenever you see that little bit of sunshine coming through, I think it's like Groundhog Day. You would never know what day it is."
Right. And what time is it? Oh, it's 2 a.m. What's going on? It's right. Bright and sunny. It's noon outside.
Right. It's like, hey, I'm gonna go down to the store because the operation hours between 8 and 5, and you're going down there at 2 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. So we thought that was pretty cool. And like, I've heard about this before. X amount of days of daylight, but I never really captured like how many days and how much it flips back from night then to day. And I think that just would be a mind trip right there. So
I mean, you could definitely 52 days of just straight daylight. I mean, I don't know about you, Joe, but I would get so much done. Outside, inside, all together. But I feel like 30 days of darkness, I don't feel like I would do anything. Like I because you're dependent on light, right?
Right.
So you can't really. What are you going to do outside? You're going to have headlamps. I mean, you could definitely invest in some really good headlamps, some really good flashlights. But I mean, it would. I guess the equivalent to that during the daytime would be your blackout curtains, like your wife was saying. But again, it would definitely mess with your internal clock, because if it's 30 days of darkness. Oh, is the store open? Oh, I gotta get to the store, and it's noon, right? Like, I keep going back to noon, but what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, you really can't keep a schedule or anything like that.
Definitely would screw with your internal clock. That's for sure.
So yeah, you at home listening, wherever you are around the world, just wondering, have you ever been a part of this phenomena, if you will, or how would you react to 30 days of darkness and 50 plus days of daylight? Could you make it? Would this mess with you, or would this be very inviting? So we would love to hear your comments in the comment section down there. It'd be really amazing to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, please let us know if you're up there and you've experienced this.
Right.
Please, I would personally, and I bet Joe would too.
Absolutely.
Like to understand, like, how did you get through this, or how do you get through this? So I'd love to know.
Especially if you're up there for more than 1 year. Like
right. If you've gone through this multiple times, if you've lived up there for multiple years, like what do you do? How do you cope with it? You know?
Right. Yeah. But next.
So Joe,
what's up?
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What's your favorite blend for a hamburger? What's your favorite blend? Like, are you a 60-40 guy? What's going on here?
So I'm 60-40 if I'm going to be on the Weber. So I have a Weber and a Traeger. But if I'm going to be on the Traeger, I probably would want more of an 80-20 because of I want to hold up and not grease all over the place and get that more smokiness. What about yourself?
You know, Joe, you put way too much thought into it. I'm definitely one of those people that just goes to the grocery store and, like, I just get the hamburger. You know, I mean, I'm a pre-made hamburger type of guy.
Self-made patties.
But yeah, I'm definitely like but if I'm gonna make it myself, you know, my wife is definitely into the more of the ground turkey side of the world. Okay. So
is it a blend or just straight ground turkey?
It's just straight ground turkey. Usually, there was one time I experimented trying to put it with some beef, and you know that does not work, Joe. Surprisingly, they like to separate. They don't really go together very much, and plus they cook at different temperatures. And you can leave a beef burger,
right,
you know, medium rare or something like this, but a turkey burger, you don't want to be doing that. So it kind of put a catch-22 in it.
So what about a medium rare dog burger?
Yeah, that's gonna be a no for me, Cotton. Nope, not gonna happen. I definitely that's not gonna happen. No, sorry. But hey, yeah. South Korea though, they're changing over there.
Yeah, tides are changing. They're gonna be getting rid of the ground dog, and apparently it's a delicacy over there. And you know, I was in the military, and I had some fellow soldiers who were over there, and I never asked them how a dog burger was. But if you're listening to this, guys, I would be very curious what your thoughts on a dog burger if you've ever had it, because most likely you were tricked into it before you even know that you had it, because it's a culture shock of a sort. Yeah, by 2027, so I guess if you go to South Korea, you got about 3 more years to get your dog burger. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I have 3 dogs at home. I don't know if I life or death situation could say, hey, sorry, Odie, you're gonna be dinner tonight. I don't think I could have it in me. I know that, you know, on the Western culture here, I know I've had like beef tongue, which I feel is kind of out there as a meat for most people, and you know, really, it was interesting. I mean, I feel if you're gonna, you know, take an animal out of this world, you might as well enjoy every piece of it. So I hope over there in South Korea they're at least making the most of the dogs they're eating. But I mean, you know, personally, I think it's a win for all dogs everywhere.
Win.
But I mean, you know, eating a dog burger, probably, unless I am tricked into it, like Joe was saying, I don't think I'm eating a dog burger. I mean, would you try a dog burger, Joe?
So I wouldn't try a dog burger, and I think I've mentioned this to you once before, that years ago when I was in high school, we went on a church retreat or a charity retreat to help down in Mexico, and we went down to a taco stand. This taco stand was amazing, and we were down there for 2 weeks, and we start to notice that there was less dogs around, and we start creating this understanding that potentially what we were eating were dogs. And since I couldn't speak Spanish at the time, can't speak much Spanish right now, definitely didn't understand it, so we couldn't ask the question. But to this day, I think potentially I've had it. And
you were saying they were some of the best tacos you had, so I mean, maybe they're onto something. Maybe dog's pretty tasty. Not for me though. Like I said, not for me. Not gonna be for me.
It's very memorably forgettable. Yeah, that's a complete statement right there. So anyways, so what are your thoughts on a dog burger or a dog dish of some sort, ground dog? Do you think a country's what I call it culture should change like that, or should they keep that kind of like on the fringe? I'd love to hear your what your thoughts on this are in the comments. To me, when I saw this, I was just like, it was a no-brainer because it's a Western-inspired country by now, and they still eat dog. So.
Yeah. I mean, if you've had it before, I mean, please let us know. Is it good? Is it bad? I mean, like I said, I don't think I could justifiably do it.
Knowingly justifiably.
Right, knowingly justifiably do it. I mean, if you're in South Korea, you have until 2027 to stuck up on that dog and have fun with it. I guess. Save the dogs, I guess.
on to the next here. So, unreasonable hospitality. And I've been listening to this audible about unreasonable hospitality, where this front of the line manager goes on a quest through his career and with some well-known chefs to become the best restaurant in the world. And in listening to this has helped apply a few portions of the way I run my life and how I want to perceive KILT Beard Company to our customers. And I went to a well-recognized business the other day. I went to the checkout, and good customer service, you have some kind of interaction with the customer. And they went to ask me, hey, did you find everything all right? And this time, for the third visit there in about a month, I finally said, no, I did not find it. And I explained to them what I couldn't find, and they said, oh, that's great, and there's a suggestion box over there.
Wow.
And the suggestion box was like over there, not like a big sign that says suggestion box. And I was looking like, I don't know what this thing is, and it's between the cash register and the enter and exit doors.
Just a little tiny box in the corner.
Right. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, you know what? It's not worth it for salt. And what was the other thing? Salt and picante salsa.
Getting fancy over here.
Well, my son likes picante salsa.
Yeah, that's fair.
But so it made me reflect when I was leaving what unreasonable hospitality would be in this situation. And I break it down to customer service. Customer service is you just asking, hey, how's your day going? Making sure that you start trying to build that very fragile relationship, because you don't know the person as a stranger, you know? Mm-hmm. And then the hospitality part comes into effect, where if that person would have been like, hey, I'll write it down for you so I can put it in the suggestion box for you, that means they're getting the feedback, the customer's being heard, mm-hmm. and they're taking control or not responsibility, but responsibility of the situation, mm-hmm. so that they can create that hospitable interaction.
Yeah, it definitely makes you feel like they actually give a shit.
Right.
You know, like they're not just like, oh, hey, it's all the way over there.
Right.
Good luck. Have a good one, you know? Yeah, no, absolutely.
And with this audible on unreasonable hospitality would have been a step mm-hmm. further. So mm-hmm. I give it to them, or some way that I know that my thoughts are being heard, my words are being heard, mm-hmm. that also I get a follow-up either when it's going to be there, if they're not going to continue, but there's an alternative store, okay. or if there's alternatives. Yeah. Or, hey, you know what, we don't get this back, it's a seasonal thing, it'll be back here in the fall. Yeah,
just somebody almost, you know, just a little extra above and beyond.
Right.
You know, not you know, I mean, you're essentially, if you're an employee, you're the face of the company, right?
Right.
So, like, you want to go out there and you want to, you know, make the company look good.
Right.
You know?
Well, also, most humans want to help and make people feel great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, what are your thoughts on this? Like, do you have any experiences where you can really be like, you know what, this person was unreasonably hospitable to me, or this person, you know what, just check the box and we just kind of moved on with our lives.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I keep Joe. Honestly, I tend to keep to myself. I'm definitely that customer that, like, they said, "Did you find everything all right?" Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, don't worry about it. You know, I usually, it takes a lot for me to go above and beyond in myself, mm-hmm. to say, no, you know what? I was really looking for the salt today, and I could not find the salt. So, you know, if I get to that point, I would go over there and put it in. But, you know, if somebody were to ask me and I would just say right. to them, like, no, I couldn't find this today, and they were like, hey, go over there, put it in that box, and be like, okay, you asked me. I, you know, personally would expect, right. So because me in my own life, if I was working somewhere and so I went up to somebody and was like, hey, Joe, did you find everything all right today? And you were like, no, I couldn't find this. I personally would be like, hey, you know what? We have the suggestion box over here. Are you going to be here for a second? You're in the checkout line?
Or at least walk me over there.
I'll walk you over there. I you know, at least do something right. to finish the job out, right. I guess, is what I'm looking for, you know? Not just be like, hey, you know what, there's this box over there. You can take your comments that you're looking for or whatever you're right. looking for, we'll go over there. You know, like, I mean, we all have Google on our phones, right? And if it's, you know, like you were saying, a big box store, you know, they could have pulled out their phone and been like, hey, you know what, actually, it looks like it's at this location. You know, hey, do you want me to call over there, put it on hold for you, or something like this, you know? Well, especially if this is a large company, which this is. Yeah. And, I mean, you can have your own computer engineer create a type of Google form, right. and right there you put it into the Google form at the register. Mm-hmm. It's captured.
honestly, they probably would get a lot more feedback, honest feedback on how they can greatly improve the overall customer experience just with a simple form, which really probably doesn't cost them much because once they make it, it's done and just continues to tally up and count, you know?
Yeah.
So, so when it comes to customer service and unreasonable hospitality, what are your thoughts on this? Do you go the extra mile? Does your company go the extra mile? Well, what do you do, or does your company do, or the business you work for do, to really bring that hospitality or unreasonable hospitality to the customer?
Yeah.
Cool.
So Joe, have you ever heard of watermelon snow before?
I've always been told don't eat the colored snow.
Well, so the other day I'm sitting there, right, and I come across this article, and it's about watermelon snow, right? And I like watermelon, right? I would assume you do. I mean, I don't know about you guys at home, but like I like watermelon. And it said watermelon snow, and I was like, what the hell? What is watermelon snow? So I click on the article. It's an algae.
One more reason not to eat the colored snow.
What? So I look into it farther, and it's apparently taking over these glaciers, right? And it's crazy stuff. So apparently, if the snow gets agitated, it smells like watermelon. Apparently, it has a watermelon scent to it. So then I start Googling. I'm like, well, watermelon snow. What is this? And it's also apparently it looks like it's like purple and red. It's called like also blood, glacier blood or something like this.
Okay.
Right. It's crazy.
That would almost make more like I think like some kind of slaughter happened out there.
Right. Like, I mean, it looks, right. Judging by the pictures that I after I Googled it to see what is watermelon snow.
Right.
It looks like blood. And I guess because it's called watermelon snow because it has a scent of watermelon. But then like I was saying, I Googled it, and it highly advises do not eat the watermelon snow.
See, I told you.
Don't do it.
And I was glancing over that too, and the apparently it takes the CO2 in the atmosphere and it kind of eats it up, if you will. But
I mean, that's good, right?
But it's like a catch-22. So not getting any one side or this side, but I mean the climate is going through some kind of cycle right now or change, and so it's being so hot, the algae is starting to grow. It's taking more CO2, which is making the snow melt more, which we do and don't know. Well, excuse me, we don't know if that's good or bad. Honestly, we really don't know. I mean, it's like fuck around and find out, right? Yeah, no, we're gonna see where that takes us, but it's just one of those interesting phenomena that it's starting to grow, but at the same time shrink, and that a really cool, didn't know kind of thing.
Another thing that I didn't even think about when I was reading this. I was talking about my wife. I'm like, have you ever heard of watermelon snow? And she's like, no, what is it? So I was telling her, and she was like, if it's melting the glaciers, isn't there like bacteria and stuff in there that's been frozen for like a long freaking time?
Right.
Like, is it gonna come out? Like, I mean, I don't know. Watermelon snow just needs to mind its own business and just slow down. All right. Yeah. Don't eat the watermelon snow, and maybe let's just let it just fizzle out. Let's I mean, I don't know what we can do to stop it.
I don't think we can do anything to stop it.
I think it's just kind of there. I mean, you guys up in Canada, like, have you ever seen this before? The northern. I was reading the more northern regions. The Montana, the northern Idaho, Washington area. You guys ever seen this?
Yeah, cool phenomena. If you never heard about it or you've actually seen it, if you got pictures of it, I'd love to see this. This would be kind of cool. Or video. A cool thing that happens up in the north there, and really cool.
Yeah, some crazy stuff. So guys, whirligig beetles. Joe, you ever heard of a whirligig beetle?
Besides reading part of the article before that, I had no idea.
Oh, okay, Joe. So this little beetle here. I don't know about you guys if you've ever heard of it, but it's about 2 to 18 millimeters big.
Okay.
So we're talking little tiny.
Right.
Moves 100 meters per second on the water.
So that's faster than probably I can blink.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I personally cannot get my mind around 100 meters per second. All right. Like, wow. Like I I got nothing other than that. But I was continuing to read this article, and apparently it's called a whirligig because it goes in circles.
Oh, okay.
It continuously goes in circles, right?
So
and
like in a straight line?
Not a straight line.
Oh, okay.
It goes in circles.
Okay.
Right? And apparently the reason it does this is it helps to consume its food. Because it eats like little larvae and little tiny things in the water, right?
Okay. Like tinier than 3 millimeters.
I can't. I don't. But I mean, it blew. At that point, my mind was so blown that I couldn't continue reading because I was going to become obsessed with this little tiny beetle. Yeah. No, it's and you know apparently also I didn't know this either until I googled it. Google's a good friend of mine apparently, and yeah, a whirligig, you know those little like like the bird like wind chimes almost that like have the wings that rotate.
Right.
That's why it's called a whirligig beetle because it goes around in circles, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, there you have it. So
I mean, what'd you get from the article, Joe?
Well, so he's done a little bit more studying than me because it really blew his mind here. So what they're using this for is potential unmanned boats or boat drones.
Yeah, this is why I stopped reading. This is more Joe's expertise. Yeah, the 100 meters per second, and they're going around in circles. That was enough to blow my mind, and I was amazed. And then I started going into the boats and drone thing. That's more Joe.
Yeah, so the drones. So we think about drones being in the air, but we don't think about the drones being on the water or little submarines, etc., like that being in the water. And they're using their propulsion system of these insects to advance technology for military warfare. Imagine having a spy boat or something as small as a beetle racing across with a machine and being able to either do spying actions or take out a target, etc., like that. So
terrifying to think about.
No, it is
terrifying to think about. That's for sure.
Because especially around the water, we're all looking up and forward. We're not looking down at the water. And if we're looking down at the water, we can't see a millimeter, 2 millimeters, whatever you said it was.
Yeah, no.
So this was a pretty interesting, a little off the wall kind of a thing. And have you ever heard of the whirligig before? And is it on top of your list of the fastest living organisms in the world? Because it's up there. It's faster than a dolphin, a walrus, and
I would hope faster than a walrus.
Walrus.
Yeah.
Or sea lions. Excuse me, sea lions. I'm still
two different creatures.
Yeah, two different creatures.
Go to the zoo; they'll tell you all about the differences.
Mr. Google here. Anyways,
gotta love it.
I'm gonna prank. So what is your take on the Blue Star Roasters coffee, French press, and do you think we did it well? Have you tried Blue Star coffee roasters before? And a celebration blend. We'd love to hear about it.
I mean, I did read one exciting thing on this, Joe. So you have microbreweries,
right?
Okay, which I would assume Washington has some pretty good ones up there,
right?
But did you know that they have micro brewers or the roasters? Micro roasters. Like, who would have thought? Like, it makes sense to me. I mean, I'm not a huge coffee drinker,
right?
But micro roasters. I mean, that kind of seems like a cool market to be in, like definitely for something like we're doing right now. Like,
right.
I'm into it.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be down like coffee here then.
Yeah, no, like this seems like a good time, Joe. I'm excited for this. Definitely the Blue Star roasters, coffee roasters. They're onto something. They're onto something.
Yeah, no, I think it really brought in the new year, like we mentioned at the beginning, and I would recommend, if you've never tried them before, to try to get this one before it phases out till probably next year. And
get your hands on it.
Right.
It's a limited time.
And so for 30 days of darkness and 50 plus days of daylight, do you think you can survive? I think we've pretty much said that most likely one or the other we can't. Maybe it's, we'll get like 5-10 days through there and we'll be like, it's not for us. So keep
going back home. Going home.
You haul on speed dial.
Sorry you up there north, but it's not happening for me.
And what do you think about dog meat? Have you ever tried it before? Have you been to South Korea or some other culture? Are we just blowing this way out of proportion and just like way overthinking this because we're in America and this is, our pets or friends or family,
Too much of a dog person. Sorry, guys.
And also,
you cat people out there though. Are you willing to try dog meat? Because I mean, I know it's a very cut or dry. You're either a dog person or a cat person. I'm a dog person. I don't know about you, Joe.
I'm a dog and cat person. I'm actually an animal lover.
That's fair.
But
I do love animals, but I'm definitely way more on the dog side of the world. That's for sure.
They all have the pros and cons.
This is very true.
Yes,
very true.
Absolutely. And in Alaska and Canada, the watermelon snow, right? I mean,
don't eat the bloody glaciers. Don't do it. It's not blood. I mean, it may be. If you happen upon some blood-looking stuff, stir it around. If it smells like watermelons, don't eat it. If it doesn't smell like watermelons, you might want to call the police.
Yeah,
or run in the other direction because there may be a bear coming towards you.
Shoot, I don't eat white snow, so I
don't eat yellow snow either, ladies and gentlemen.
And then a shameless plug. So KILT Beard Co has beard products, and if you're curious about beard products for yourself, you want to try a different company, if you're already trying our products, come over and check us out. We're also going to be coming out with some Valentine specials, so be on the lookout for that, probably within a week or so. And thanks for joining us with it.
It's even for mustache people, ladies and gentlemen. Even if you got a little stubble, a little mustache,
yeah, we'll talk about.
Look into it. You want to do it, people.
Yeah, we'll talk about his beard experience and to a mustache experience as he awaits his newborn coming here next month. So
she's coming, ladies and gentlemen.
But once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Oh, hello. Is it recording now?
Yep.
Holy shit. We're live. All right. Woo.
Take one. No. Hi, this is Joseph.
This will be fun for you to do
the serious face. I need a drink.
I only said it once that
time. It's kind of like I don't know, people would catch you. Like you do like a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Right.
I can't keep going.
Hi, Joe, in the editing booth.
Right.
Cookie was eating the wheelbarrow.
Yeah. Thank you. God damn it. Sorry. I can't even stop it. I won't stop it. I want to keep it going. Right. Like, I always like to drink something before I go on to the next thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, so you start getting cotton mouth.
I agree with you on that one.
Okay, you're gonna eat
I was trying to remember glacier blood. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I wasn't completely off on that one. I don't. Joe, I'm gonna be honest. I cannot read that. My eyes are that terrible.
Your mind yesterday.
So and then I read more about it. Oh my god, I'm about to blow your freaking mind. Whirligig.
I forgot I was already saying the song. I was like Google, Mr. Google over here.